In what will hopefully be the last of the videos about the Classwork section of Google Classroom, I'm just going to show you how to set an assignment in basically where you want a pupil or where you want all pupils to be able to access the same file and edit it simultaneously. So you don't want them to have a copy each, you want everyone to get into the same thing. So to do that, as before in Classwork, we go create, assignment, and you would just add in, as previously, the title. So in this case, it's ask about composition, and the instructions are pretty straightforward. I'm going to say, take your slides, add an image which relates to the principle, and describe how the principle is being used. There we go. I'm going to set just an arbitrary 5 points for this, so I get a chance to show you how to do grading and how to give some feedback as well. I'll set a random due date, and we'll just create a new topic for it, and this topic will be called composition. There we go. Now, the file that I want them to be able to access, again, is in my drive. So I'm going to go into my drive, the folder where it's stored, and add it. Now, this is a Google Slides, kind of the same thing as a PowerPoint presentation, really. And normally I would actually get each pupil to individually complete the whole thing, but I could just as easily use it as a shorter task for each pupil to take a slide by saying, okay, every pupil, here's your number, and then your number determines which slide you have to complete. And the good thing is they could help each other out as well, so they could collaborate on it a bit as well. So anyway, I need to change this over here. So I don't want them to be able just to view the file, and I don't want them to have their own copy each. I want them all to be able to get into and edit that same file. So I'm going to change it to students can edit the file, and I'm going to assign it. Now, that's assigned, so as a student, let's have a look at how that would appear. So if I go to my Classwork tab, it should appear by now. And if not, I'll just refresh it. Sometimes it takes a minute to come through. There we go, composition. So I'm going to click on that, and you'll see I can either click View Assignment, which takes me into this view, where I can mark it as done, or I can add any other stuff that I wanted to turn in at the same time. But I can also just access the file that's been shared with me by my teacher. Now, as a student, if you were in a class and everyone else was logged into this, up at the top here, we'd see loads of other names, like this kind of circle showing who else was actually active in the document, and little highlighted sections on the different slides would show up to let me know who else was doing what. But say I was on, for the sake of argument, this slide here, which is for the composition principle of pose. I would just go away, find myself an image on Google. So portrait photography on Google Images. See what we find. We find somebody with a nice pose. There we go. Why not? So we could take this image here, and copy the image, come over here, and paste it in. Now, there's actually a clever thing called Google Explore here, which allows you to go and actually search for stuff within a document, but we'll not go into that just now. So there we go, and make a wee comment. Elbows. No, I'm not going to bother typing it all out, but anyway, so we've got the people completed their slides, happy that that's done. So they're all done with that now, and they can come out of the document that they've been working on. And back in at the assignment here, they can see that they're done. Okay. Now this doesn't close down the document for everyone else because they're all still working on it. But when the pupil looks at it, you'll see they can still go in, they can still change things, because this is a shared document, so it's not all going to be locked down when one person marks that they're done. But now that people said that they're finished, as a teacher, I know that they think they're finished. So I'm going to go and have a look at that assignment. And it's slightly different in terms of how we look at it, because it's just one file that everyone's working on. So the easiest way to look at it is just to actually look at the one you attached here. Now, having done that, I can go in here and I can see what that pupil's done. It should show up on that slide 5 there. Great, yep, so I can see they've put their photo up. And I could add a wee kind of comment to it. So if I click on this, I could make a comment at the side, choice, etc. A comment in there. There's also a really handy wee application or extension called Talk and Comment you'll see up here. And if I use that, I can just actually, this is recording what I'm saying to the student. And then we hit the wee tick, copy that URL, and just add another wee comment in here. And I can just paste that in. And when they click on that link, they can hear the comment I've made to them. So that's another wee thing that's quite handy for giving feedback. So anyway, we've had a look at their work. We're happy about what we want to give them as a mark. So back here, where I go to turned in, gives me the opportunity to give that pupil a grade out of 5. So I'm happy that they get 4 out of 5 for that. Down here, you'll actually see that there's, unfortunately you can't see it because there's wee bars in the way, but there's a wee bit where you can leave a comment, so you could give some justification for your feedback, or you could just explain that when you were doing the feedback in the file itself, with your comments and so on. And that's it. So that's done. You've given the people a mark, and you just hit return to return the work to them, and that lets them know what the grade that they got was. That's really about it for a whole class. It's kind of the same thing, really. You just kind of go through each of the different assignments. The difference is if it's an assignment where each pupil gets their own copy, when you're in the file, there's usually a wee kind of bar down at the side for doing grading, because it can all be done individually, because that file is individually for the pupil. In this sort of situation, you can't do that because it's a file that's shared around everyone. Hopefully that makes sense. Possibly not the most lucid explanation. It's kind of getting late in the evening and I want to go home. But I hope that's given you a wee kind of starter, at least giving you some thoughts about how you could maybe use this to set assignments. So if you've got any questions, if there's something you're not sure about that I maybe haven't explained clearly, something you'd like to know a bit more about, please just send me an email. But for now, that's us.